Hello and welcome. I'm Bill Wake. Today we're working on DECT. It's a program that will take a picture of cards and turn them into individual virtual cards. We've done the main part of that work. It's all delegated to Apple's iOS stuff, but now we're working on sorting by rows. And again, I think we've done the bulk of the sorting work we need to do. We've got to integrate that into the usage. I'm a little under the weather today, so if my voice is off, I apologize. And I've got a better mic than last time, I think. All right, let's go over to the IDE, and I'm just going to check, make sure. Okay, wanted to make sure my mic was actually on. Enough, enough problems already. I keep hearing a little pop. That's not a good sign, but we'll go on. All right, so we have the card. Let's see, I just kicked off the tests, but we'll read some code first. We've got three things in the model area. The card itself, which isn't much, it's just a unique identifier, the image that it's working from, and the placement or location. I'm still working on the right word for that. And got a few protocols that it meets, okay? Then we have this rectangle finder. Well, that's the thing that's doing all the work, letting the vision package do all the work. So we send it a detect rectangles request. We haven't really done any tuning, but what we have done is we take the, let's see, so this is this has a closure. When you perform the request and it's done, it calls the closure. And for us, it runs through the observations, so the rectangles it found, digs up each one, and then flips it vertically. There are two coordinate systems going on. One has the 0, 0 in the top left corner, one has it in the bottom left corner. And so to get things in the coordinate system of the image, we're flipping it vertically. Okay, and maximum observation 0 says we want as many as we get. All right, and flip vertically, just 1 minus this. The coordinate system of the found rectangles is 0 to 1, so it's sort of like a percent of the total width and total height. All right, tests all passed, and then finally we just added deck. And I'm not quite sure. Well, we're just in the process of adding it, I guess you'd say. I think when we finished last time, what we had done. Let's check our test. But basically, we defined two methods: a top row sort, which finds one row, and then a row sort, which sorts everything. Okay, so we're working from a list of cards, and we start with that whole set. While there's still cards left, we pull out the first row, append that to our list, and then remove everything that was in that first row. Okay, there may be a better way to do this, but I didn't notice it. And then whatever we have left, that's stuff that's not in the first row. Well, it's in the first row of the rest, and so we run the top row sort again, and go from there. Now, this is all. There definitely is room for optimization here. The top row sorts the list it has by min y, okay, and that sorting, it could be done. It could be done differently. All right, so I think we're ready to pick up. All right, so let's see what our to-do says. All right, sort the cards horizontally, by which I mean row order. And I think our sorting algorithm is okay, but our running algorithm we're using, let's see, I probably have to change something around. I've got something going on with these configurations. I didn't do something right. Let's see, I also didn't bring up a Twitch window. Let me do that. We'll just tuck this behind. Move this one over. See if we can find the chat. The volume is off. Good. Really? Oh, there we go. Ah, hi Astrid. All right. So, we've got something that will sort those cards, and I'm pretty happy with that. I mean, I think we're doing the right thing as far as like how do we decide what's in the first row and so on. Let's see. I had a picture too, so let me go back here. Let's look at this. Okay, so the way the sort algorithm works is it takes the list of cards, like on the left, and basically it finds which one has the highest top. Okay, that one's in the first row. It actually defines the first row. Anybody who's in the top half of the topmost card is in the first row. So, I left my editing skills here. Okay, let's do this. All right, I don't know what I was saying there. Okay, let's sorry. Okay, I wonder if I had a thought. Anyway, the topmost card defines the top row. So the only one that fits in row 1, its top has to be between the top of the topmost card and the middle of the topmost card. And so the card on the left, top left, is in row 1. The red card is in row 2 because it's below the halfway point. And I don't know what's going on the right-hand side there. Oh, I guess they're all part of the same picture. That's what's going on. So row 1 is the first top left card. Well, they're all the 4 top orange ones. Row 2 is that red one. Nobody in row 3 goes above the top half of the red card, so that's why they're all in row 3. Okay. And it's a little bit... The thing I don't like about that algorithm is it's a little dependent. Like, if I did the opposite algorithm and I said, okay, let's select the bottommost card in row 3 and only take the ones that, it might not get the same answer. I'm not quite sure whether that's... Yeah, you could definitely set up some situation where you get a different answer going from the top or the bottom, I think. So that's a weakness in it. But I think, at least for me, as an English reader of, top left, reading across horizontally to read my language, I think starting at the top makes sense. Okay. So I think what we have to do, I've got this running. All right, so when I say go, it's going to identify, right now the cards list is empty. But if I say go, I get the cards marked, and then when I go to look at them, that's the cards the vision system found. So it didn't find those ones that were too close together. It decided those weren't real cards for some reason. We have to tune that. But I do have my individual cards now, so I'm happy about that. But I didn't check closely to see, like, the default order might be the same. That's awfully small. User starts, player scores in open category, and I don't know, something with a 30. Okay, yeah, these are different ordered. Okay, 30 or 50. Okay, yacht, I guess, is 50. All right. So these cards are in the order the vision system decided they were in, which we don't know what it's doing, and probably, it's got a tough enough job. I'm not going to make it put things in order for me. Okay, so what we want to happen next is these things come out in horizontal order. Let me select a bigger simulator. Okay, let's see. I got to quit this one. Let's see, what can we do? Maybe an iPad will work. An iPad mini might be visible on my screen. All right. So what's the test here? Okay, so I think whoops. How about deck test? Okay. This isn't a whole lot of tests, but I think it was enough to prove our algorithm did basically the right thing. I'm not sure if there's... It might deserve more testing. Yeah, I don't know. That's I'm gonna let it go for now. Okay, probably probably a poor decision, but I'm too anxious to see it work. um, let's see if we can get it integrated and then revisit the testing. Okay. One thing I know is like however many rectangles you put in, you should get that many out in your sorted list, right? So we can say that. I mean, sorting, right? It's the same elements in as out, and they're a permutation, you know. So we can look at that. I may not worry about the permutation. Let's see. So what's going to happen here? I'm losing my flow a little bit. Okay, so when I hit go, I identify a bunch of rectangles, and then I just map them into a list, each one into a card. With its bounds. Okay, so let's take a look at card again. Is it getting its placement from the right thing? No. Okay, so this tells me my placement right now, nobody's calling this argument. Sorry, content view. The placement should be coming in here. I don't know if I can go to the bounds. Yeah, I think that's what I gotta be doing. And I'm not testing it out at this level. Once again, I question my resistance to testing the UI view pieces. All right, well, let's do this. I mean, it shouldn't hurt anything. The rectangles, yeah, we're getting an image and the bounds. Oh, yeah, the bounds rectangle. Okay, and hopefully a larger view. Which will take longer to come up. All right, well, while that's thinking, the question I have now is like this is like what should I give you? Rectangle finder. Rectangle finder needs to it runs when it's good and ready. So in that sense, I think it's doing okay. Right, because it took a little flash of a second, maybe quarter second, I don't know. Well, I'm going to hope it restores itself and maybe catches you up as we go. If worse comes to worse, it'll be up in the episode will be available in a couple weeks in YouTube. So that may be the way we have to do it. I'm definitely still seeing the pause. Okay, so running on the mini, we identify the rectangles and the cards. And they look, whoops, they look better to me than they in the card view than they do on the image view. So that's kind of on my list too. Okay, but at any rate, what I seem to see is the rectangles now have the cards now have the rectangles as well. All right. Now, oh boy, this is where my Swift UI knowledge is weak on this. So right now I have the concept of a list of cards, and I have the concept of a deck, which just has a couple static functions. It really seems to me like the deck should be the list of cards. Let's make it sort with this, and then we'll see about combining it into one item. All right, so I've got row sort that takes input and a list of cards and returns a list of cards. So if in here cards equals, well, it's dot map of that, and then dot I guess I gotta call my row sort. Row sort of this. Okay, so I'm saying instead of just taking the cards you get from the rectangle finder, the rectangles rather, create the cards and then sort them according to deck.row sort. Okay, so again, the card order: yacht, start turn, category choice, category ones, then yacht. Okay, I don't know if I can. Can I guess I could write that down. Yacht, start turn, choice. I'll just squeak it in here. Yacht, start turn, choice. One's yacht and open. Or I guess it's choice one's yacht. Wow. New desk. Okay. That's what we have. If we run it again, we should get a different order, I think. Am I doing any better? Oh. Start turn, open, yacht. Okay, yeah, and they had choice down there, so it, oh yeah, it looks like it's doing more left to right than horizontal. Okay. We've marked our rectangles, and now we should see yacht, start turn, open category, roll a yacht. Yacht, start turn, open category, roll a yacht. Yay! Let's make sure big straight is really the last one. It's the last one we found. Okay. All right, that works. I'm sorry you all aren't here to enjoy it as well. All right, so we're making sort in row order. And we'll push that. Think we're back in action. Okay, so last thing that happened is we connected content view. This thing now calls row sort, and that creates our deck of cards, and they're coming out in order. So let's run this again. Kind of got us in trouble last time, right? Okay. We'll see when that shows up. I can close that down. All right. Put it over here. Should be running. Still building. Okay. All right, so what did we see for order? We saw yacht, start turn, choice, ones, and yacht, score 50. Okay, so we do go, and notice choices, any category ones on the left there, that was the first row, or the first few cards. Now we expect yacht starts turn, open category yacht. Yacht starts turn, open category yacht. So I think we can be happy. We successfully parsed out these cards. Now, I'm a little puzzled by the images. Some of them look like a black and some of them look kind of gray. I guess I just had that much variation in the main image. It's not really apparent to me out here. Although I guess I could see a difference, like the middle ones look a little lighter than the end ones. Probably the flash, huh? Looks a little flared in the middle there. Okay. So sort the cards horizontally. I guess I should start a tag here. 22-07. Well, let's see. I've lost track of PowerPoint keynote. Okay, but we've certainly did this today. Right. I don't necessarily want to do vertically and hierarchically yet. Let's get deck.jpg up here. This was my attempt. I don't know if I can zoom that. Yes. Okay. I put off editing cards, put the cards in a list scrolling. We did that, but we haven't dealt with delete, and we have dealt with in order for the simplest case of top row order. We could go on to editing or deleting. Take a new photo and extract cards, consolidate identical cards. I mean, that's kind of interesting to me. Mark new cards with light green. Mark unused cards with light red. Reorder cards. Tweak recognition. Tweak similarity matching. I thought I had an animation in there somewhere. Oh yeah, with animation. Okay. Well, we clearly have some refactoring work and probably some testing work. Oh man. Is it frozen again? I'm gonna pull in a lighter simulator and see if that's the issue. It may just be, I'm in an unfamiliar environment and my network may not be as good here or something. But let's try back for an iPhone. I don't know what's a decent sized one. Let's try that one. Okay, but we can look at code for a minute here. All right, so what I see, I've got this notion of a deck, and a deck, mostly you think of it as a list of cards, or a stack of cards, or something of cards. I want to think of it as a list of cards, I think. And when I do that, what I say is, oh, this list of cards here really is a deck. Now, I may be munging up two concepts, because if I had my list of cards and I want to do the 2D grid version, right, this is not the right representation. So what's my puzzle is, even in one shot, this 2D grid sort of makes sense. And when I get two pictures going, it definitely makes sense to think about which ones are in which row and so on, row and column. And so I feel like the notion of the list of cards, I don't know, maybe deck is not the right metaphor there. It's really the display structure. I don't know. It's like, is there some reason that this deck of cards belongs together? And if it was laid out, it's really a layout almost. What we call it in card games. Well, I don't know. They probably say array sometimes. They probably say, there's a word they use in solitaire, but I don't remember what it is. But, I mean, maybe this cards is not the right. I mean, what I'm doing, my list of cards is really, it's sort of an arrangement more than a deck. And maybe I need to indicate that. All right. I'm also looking ahead at the 2D stuff and like, is it going to make a big difference? But if this should be a deck, I don't know if that should be a deck. It should be. I don't know. Is it a hand? Well, okay. Regardless of what I call it, what I see is input array of cards, output array of cards, input array of cards, output array of cards, or list of cards. A content view, input is, well, at some point there's a list of cards coming from here, from this map, and the output of this that's stored is from that row sort, so it's another list of cards. That sort of says to me that the list of cards can belong over there, which would seem like a step forward. That this arrangement, I don't know the right name, but the layout of the cards is all about the list of cards. So it seems like this deck should be about the same thing. Oh, that word for it is tugging on my brain and just won't let go, but I don't have it. All right, I'm going to say arrangement. Let's see what happens if we rename this. Okay, so arrangement, and then deck over here. Let's get a sample. Cannot find arrangement in scope. Where's deck? Oh, there's arrangement. Okay. And then, well, let's run those tests. I'm hoping it'll. Oh. What is the matter? Oh. Well, let's clean and run. Okay, so that's trying to run. Content view has arrangement. Okay, so we rename deck to arrangement. And I was having trouble with this earlier. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I'm still dropping frames. I hope you're seeing something. Seems to show you might be. Okay. An arrangement, row sort. All right. So when I look at this block of code, I mean, the rectangles are interesting. I guess we needed them. We did check that at some point. But I want to say cards is arrangement with the source image and the rectangles. Okay, so let's well, in effect, I want to pull this into a constructor. Okay, so let's try making a method out of it. Oh, good, it'll do it. Okay. Well, there it goes. I'll just call it make. Oh no, that's still not quite right. Let's undo that. Okay. Let's let image equal source image. Okay, I'm doing sort of an introduce parameter the old way when you don't have that in your refactoring tool. Refactor extract method. Oops. Oh, dang. You actually have to use it for it to count. Okay. Hopefully one more try. Okay, I'm going to swap the order. I'm putting it up here. And run my tests. In my test configuration. Tests and run. Okay, so what I've done then is I've made this this make cards function that's going to become the initializer on arrangement, and I can I can inline this one. Will the test run first? Okay, so source image is here, pulled here. That. Okay, rectangles we're keeping, cards we're keeping. All right. Let's run that just for making sure everything's straight. Now, one thing I definitely like is that logic. I mean, it's not a ton of logic, but it's logic, and I would rather have that pulled out of the view file. So extracting it into a method is sort of a step on that path. All right, and are you running? You're still trying. That really gets old. Okay. I guess I'm gonna have to figure that out. Let's see the scheme. Oops. Okay, well, it's running. Go should still find everything. Card should still do everything in the right order. Yep. Okay. Let me figure out what's going on here. So DECT, if I edit scheme, info, test, well, there's build. It knows how to test. What's configuration debug? John Reed says if you turn this off, things will run faster. You have to remember to turn it on when you want to debug. But this looks kind of like what I'd expect. So why doesn't it like my testing? Maybe I have to say more. Okay. Close. What's this one look like? Test, debug. I can turn that off. Well, he says iPhone. Maybe that's the only difference. Close. If I do DECT with iPhone 12 Pro, I should be able to run. Why can I not run? I don't know what manage will do differently. Okay, DECT project shared. Let's look at this one. Maybe my target? Oh, I probably have to add a target. Yes, apparently that's the deal. DECT tests really only applies to test. Oh, still doesn't like it. No device. No. Edit scheme. Okay. I hate wasting time on this stuff, but I just don't know it well enough. Okay. DECT. What does that mean? Build order, dependency order, fine. Implicit dependencies. Build, 2 targets. Test. I don't think I'm passing anything in that matters. What? it definitely shows that. So what does it say? Build, one target, deck tests, just decked, run, manual order dependencies. That looks the same to me. I don't think this should even apply. Yeah. Oh. It is a thing down there. Okay. Excuse me. Cancel that. Let's try and get a test action on decked. Test needs deck tests. Added. Okay. Well, there. All right. Say run. I want to run test. Oh, I hit the go instead of the test button. Okay. And I think I can delete that second scheme now if this works. Well, what does that mean? All right, there's one scheme. Let's edit it to make sure that debugger's off. Once again, I've not managed. Okay, that's off. Run the tests. I gotta find that keystroke for that. Command U. Okay, good. Okay, it's a little off topic in a sense. So I think what I would say we're doing is we've sort of done this. This other options is still a true thing, but we're doing a refactor now. So arrangement constructor. That was just kind of a scratch note to make sure I didn't lose track of what order they were in. Okay, basic card UI, swipe to move between cards. We don't even have to do that, we're just scrolling. UI, flip a card and write on the back. Manage cards on a surface. Split cards, move them around stacks. Okay, let's continue on this. Content view. Now it's got this function, make cards. This should be, well, I should be able to pull this over. Let's do it this way. Let's copy it over. Have to remember all my manual mechanical ones. Okay, I got a couple static functions. I'll leave those up top. I've got this. I want to make this be the constructor. So it's the init. Init takes init takes the image and the rectangles and it returns the row sort of the stuff. Wow. He needs a little help. I don't think I don't get much help here. Fix. No, that's not right. Okay. We don't need to say this. I'm committing to owning this. This is a little bit more intricate than I wanted. All right. Well, we're going to learn the second hard thing, I guess. It's how to manage state that's owned by a different object. So if you do stuff like this, where it's a simple object, an image, or an array, there's sort of built-in stuff to keep it all notified and consistent. If I move this in, which I'm dreading, but let's make our arrangement know the cards that it built. Okay. And that gives it a variable. Okay, so I'm in here trying to get this right for the constructor. We'll import Swift now. Is it Vision? The CG Rect should be there. I thought that was part of a standard UI image. Well, let's see if we can figure it out from here. Notice I'm leaving this one in place until I get the other one fully ready to go. This is in UI kit. I thought that was like an import foundation. Okay, let's do a clean. All right, you're still complaining. Well, this is weird to me. I mean, I don't think it's part of a Swift UI thing. UI kit. Well, talking about images is... I don't know if there's a UI kit package we import, but I thought it was Foundation built in. Image. Can I find CG Rect or that? Okay, import Foundation. Well, let's import Vision and see if that does it. No. In a way, that's better. Okay, this doesn't have to happen. Return. Import UI kit. Always takes a minute. Okay, I guess UI kit is part of it. Well, that's a little weird. All right, but let's see what we got. So now I'm saying if you initialize a deck, you give it an image and the rectangles it should build from. Sorry, if you initialize an arrangement. In our case, we want to do a row sort. And create a bunch of cards. All right, now we're back here. Oh boy. I just feel like this is going to fall apart when I do it. But if make cards should return a new arrangement with the image new arrangement with the image and the identified rectangles. Okay, and then this stuff goes away. Okay, so now I'm saying make cards to do that. Yeah. Oh, make cards needs to return array of cards. Ew, it's really returning an arrangement now. Okay. Now here, cards needs to be an arrangement. And the initial one, I don't know where that gets initialized. Probably helps if I spell it. Arrangement of UI image dot, what do we have? I would love an empty image. Isn't it named system name? Well, let's image named empty. Empty ping. And an empty list of rectangles. Okay. Now that obligates us to put an empty file in here. Okay, so let's, what's the best way to make an empty file? Can I make an image with new? New file. Resource. Let's do this. Empty ping. And we'll stick it in with the samples. Okay. I'm upsetting something. Alright, what are your complaints? TextSwift.h. I really don't know what that's all about. Initializer requires that arrangement. Oh, golly, this is going to get ugly. Okay, I'm taking too big a step. All right, instead, let's go back to, I'll keep this a little bit, but we're going to go back to array of cards. Okay, and then the make cards is going to return array of card. Whoops, array of card. And we're going to do that by asking it for its cards. And arrangements cards are just an array of cards, I hope. Yes. Okay. Can I assign a value of arrangement to cards? Okay. Cards is inaccessible. Well, make it public for a moment. I think that might. Okay, I think I haven't managed to break anything just at this moment. All right, let's lock in that refactoring. We create arrangement that knows a list of cards. Okay. Yeah. So, what was going wrong there? I think the real complaint, where it's complaining about the binding and stuff like that, the fact is it doesn't know how to handle a binding of an arrangement. And I'm going to have to find the old files. Um, probably sort tables. Is that in there? Let's see what we did there. Let's see. I know we did a lot of stuff in the UI kit world instead of the Swift UI world, but I think let's see, where's that thing? Do we have view? No. Well, let's look at models. I'm looking for something that shows it's triggering things. That's not it. What do we call that thing? File viewing? It's not with the tables. It's really with the... Okay, maybe it's the SQL thing. Yeah, there we go. We've got observed object. The database is a database view model. Okay. Database view model. Yes, we have to do this any cancellables thing. And then when we change things, we have to do some extra work too. Right. And I don't know what removes it from there. Okay. So a database view model knows the database name, which is a string, and then who references it. It must be this thing, knows the database view model, and he marks it observed object. Is this thing a Swift control? Does it know UI Swift? No. It knows combine, which is the any cancelable stuff. Okay, so the database view model is observable object. All right, let's start working towards that. And I don't know. I need to figure this out. I mean, this is one of my gaps in my understanding of Swift UI. So we've been going a while. Let's take a 2 or 3 minute break. Going successfully for a while, I think. Seem to still be broadcasting. Anyway, let's take a 2 or 3 minute break, and we'll come back and convert this to being an observable object and see if we can get it sort of a view model kind of arrangement of things. Okay. All right, welcome back. Okay, so we want to make this be an observable object. Let's find the tests. And I think, well, let's see, how did we test things here? I don't know if we did very well. Database view model test. All right. I don't think we checked the observable stuff there. Let's see. Create a model database, set these. Well, that's all legit testing of things, but it's not really testing the observable object stuff. Okay. Database view model. All right, so I don't know. I mean, if you're an observable object, you get certain things for free. Okay. I don't think you have any obligations. So the test should still run. All right, let's get deck tests. Let's make them arrangement tests. Okay. Rename to arrangement tests. Okay. Nice. Okay, so they're not harmed by that anyway. All right. So we have observable object with cards. And then, well, I guess I'm wondering if it matters that it's observable, but the arrangement, like if we let you delete, right, you definitely need to be able to update this thing, this list of cards. The way we are now though, we don't update it, so it may be that maybe we can just do that here. Okay, so the database view just says observed object. Okay, and it has to be initialized. Okay, so the equivalent over here is, instead of a locally contained state, it's an observed object, and I think that means it's going to do this, and then somebody should complain down here. Yep, there we go. This thing, make cards. We're just going to return it as an arrangement. Now, what's the matter? Cannot find cards in scope. Let's try that for the moment. Still some complaints. Cannot assign to property. Self is immutable. Mark method mutating. Is that really going to work? Okay. Unable to infer. Okay. $cards dot cards. Can we do that? Okay. Still something wrong. Cannot use mutating member on self is immutable. So how do we set that thing? All right, what do we do here? Well, we had observed object. Oh, we passed it in on initialization. I'm not sure. Oh dear. I spent a lot of time banging my head last time. I remember that much. All right, so if I can't change... Well, the funny thing is this button action, right? I mean, it's trying to reset. It's trying to reset that variable. So maybe once you're started, oh, I just don't know. All right, if I set it, it's like maybe make cards. Where's that? Okay, let's inline that. I don't think it's helping us anything to have it as a separate function. All right, so make cards is really just arrangement of image arrangement. Okay, I think that's a tiny step forward. I'm not going to allow mutation. I almost want to say cards dot update with this. Let's try that. Okay. I'm getting myself tangled, as you can tell. If you create an arrangement, so let's make a test. Update changes images. All right. So we're going to let dec equal arrangement. Let's start out empty, which will complain the way it is now. And then I want to say dec.update with an image, which I can get like this. Oh, I've got an image up there. Okay, let's just use the image and cgrect 0, 10, 20, 30. Okay, update doesn't exist. At the end of this, dec.cards let's assert the count. Dec.cards.count should be 1. Okay. Right. Okay, so let's see. I want to make a new arrangement. I'm gonna take well, let me make a new constructor. If you initialize, then I don't want you to do anything. I just will oh, well, I'll learn something here because UI image can take an empty constructor. So let me use that for a default. Okay, arrangement. This thing is going to be tied to an image. Var image of UI image equals nothing. And the cards. Okay. All right. If you use this constructor, you should have an empty one to start with, and I can assert it there too. Okay, so you start with nothing, and you call update, which I think this is going to be function update with an image in rectangles. Then we're going to update the cards. I don't need to know the image. Okay, that's even better. Okay, so an empty initializer just creates an empty list. If you call update, I'm gonna take this code out. Okay, deck.update. Why don't you have an update? Arrangement. I say public. I didn't think I had to say public. Okay, can't assign property is self-immutable. Yes. So we would say cards.update with the image and the rectangles. Now we're not, what are we not doing? Dollar cards. Has an empty setup. I'm gonna comment this out for now. Okay, let's just focus on the arrangement on the proper side, the work side. Okay, this should fail. Okay, should be a 0. Yes. All right, so our update, let's push this over a little. Update is going to kind of do this stuff. Arrangement row sort the image, the rectangles, and he doesn't keep either one around except this rectangle's implicit. Okay. Now this should pass a weakish assert, but I'll trust it. Oh. Okay, unwrapping null value. Image plus crop. Where's that coming in? Wow. Okay, image plus cropped, line 13. Excuse me. Image plus crop. Well, somebody's not handing out a valid image, I guess. I really wish I had a stack trace there. I don't know where we're pulling that image. We got our source image, which definitely exists. Alright, what's the default setup here? UI image. Okay, that's the main image view. It knows the main image. Okay. The card outline. This one's a little iffier. I don't think I'm listing any cards though. What happened to the test? Well, okay, that's a little more problematic. Cards equals, take the arrangement, row sort, identified rectangles, map, rectangle in, image. Who called image update? Cards.update, source image. Cards.count, that should be okay. Alright, let's try that debugger theory. Let's edit the scheme. We'll run with debug. We can debug the executable. Okay. Let's break here and run. So we've already fallen apart. Deck arrangement test update changes image. Failed already. Okay. Well, let's start there, I guess. Is it just creating an arrangement? That seems pretty harmless to me. Wow. It seems like really harmless to me. Create arrangement does absolutely nothing, just leaves a list of empty list of cards. What? All right, let's step in. Oh, did I not run it with a? Yeah. Oh, I don't have a debug option. Did I? Oh, I need to do my test needs debug back on. There we go. Okay, let's step into. Step over. Step over. Okay, everything's happy so far. I don't see why that should be a problem. Okay, we'll step in here. Image. Oh, my test used an empty one, didn't it? Okay, so apparently image is not good enough. Let's make one. named yacht1.jpg. Okay. Now I expect it to pass. Who's calling crop? Why does that have not? Okay, we are in. Well, we are calling crop. Oh, my rectangle is all screwed up. Okay. That is way out of bounds, as a matter of fact. Okay. All right. So at this point, I think I have an observable object. I can update it. And my hope is, let's get our content view. Well, we haven't dealt with the cards yet. And I don't know if the cancelable thing. Okay, let me go back to this other project. And let's see this one. I think he's going to have a bunch of things. Active table. One of these has a list of things. Okay, binding. Ooh, binding. I don't understand binding versus observable object. Oh my. Okay. Each one is an observed one. I'm binding onto this list of these things. Well, maybe it's not so bad to expose my cards there. Let's see what happens. Okay, for each cards, he complained last time. Okay, I'm hoping we're back to where we were. Which is progress some days, so we'll take it if it happens. Alright, cards is empty, shouldn't be an issue. Image go should find them all. Good. Nothing blew up so far. Hey, that's kind of good. Okay, that was a little scary. I like knowing, oh, you're going to do this and it's going to work, and that's not the case for me with these bindings and stuff yet. Let's see. Commit this. So we made arrangement take an update for new image and rectangles. All right. Yeah, so that feels like a little bit of sideways progress, if you can call it that. But the thing we've done, which is not a bad thing, we no longer sort in our content view. Okay, that's up to the cards, the arrangement, and let's rename that thing while we're here. Layout, arrangement. Oh man, I just don't know the word. Okay, but I will call it arrangement for now. Here, arrangement. arrangement.cards doesn't seem wrong to me, so I'll keep it. All right, let's and I really should have run my unit test there again, but let's do it now. Make up for it. All right, arrangement constructor. Okay, I think we've done that. Well, it's really hasn't. Arrangement has an update function. Okay, and that's what we're making use of. I don't think we're totally there. Okay, let's say arrangement is an observable object and has an update function. Okay, I think that's an accurate reflection of what we did. Okay. I suspect I'm leaving out something, right? I had to have those cancelable stuff, and I'm thinking like, oh, there's something there, but we'll move forward. Okay, so well, the step forward, let's see if we can get delete card working. Maybe that's a good next function. All right, let's to do. What do we say? List of cards, scroll to move, UI, flip a card, manage card split, move them around. I mean, delete is in there too. And stacks. Okay. So what we want to do is when you swipe, okay, well, let's just give it a run. Don't know what that is. Oh, don't need keynote. Okay, delete card, and we're running. Okay, let's find our cards and look at them. I should be able to swipe and get a delete. Okay, so this is my near total ignorance of Swift UI. I know there's stuff to do stuff, but I never know how to do it. Okay, swipe to delete from list. I think I just had to turn on a flag and it'll work. My favorite site. Okay, let's see, we have delete items. Index set. We had a method that accepts index set and uses it to delete. Okay, so I'm adding this to the deck, or the arrangement. All right, so let's make sure. Oh, there's on delete. Okay, perform delete items. Oh, that's being done. Order.items.remove. Well, maybe that's a function in our thing. They suggested as a view function, and I think we'll start there. Okay, so content view, and where that's a standalone, but okay, in the list of items, we're going to do the delete. Okay, card list. Let's add it to the bottom of that. Okay. So how do I delete items at offsets? Well, I do arrangement.cards.remove those items. Okay. And how do I trigger it? Well, I have it on delete. At the bottom of the for each, I have it on delete. Bottom of the for each. Okay. And If the user wants to remove several items, that's easy. Well, I don't want to do that. But we could add it to the navigation bar. Okay, good to know. Okay. This is all kind of built into the UI list manager thing. So, the play. Well, let's see if it works. Okay. Okay. That works. Let's do this. Okay, it's a big button, but okay. Wowzers. The ID card occurs multiple times with this collection. Will give undefined results. What? Index out of range. Okay, now I think I'm getting to where my update is not. Let's make this a little less dependent on knowing the internals. So I think I'm going to say arrangement dot delete. Well, okay. Refer to subscribe. Cannot. What? Dollar arrangement. Insert dollar. Okay, I don't have a method. Yes, that's important. All right, let's add it. Delete takes index offset, add offsets. Okay, now what they did, well, we're just going to say cards dot, and then I'm going to steal the same code, right? Cards dot remove add offsets. Okay, so to delete from the deck, sorry, from the arrangement, I'll call it that eventually. To delete from there, we have to remove all the individual cards that were deleted by the front end. Now, this should behave as poorly as that did. Okay, this is problematic. Why can I not reference arrangement? Maybe I have to say arrangement dot, like get at the wrapper thing. Is that okay? Fix add offsets with add. Okay. That's all it needs? Okay. Still gonna fail. But I think I know why. I think it's our cancelables and we're not notifying properly and stuff like that. All right, go, cards, delete. Oh, okay, there it goes. Index out of range. So I think what's happening is we properly delete the item, and let's go back to arrangement. So in this code down here, arrangement removes the offsets from the card, but nothing tells the UI. I mean, this said it would be observable. observables need to notify people when things change because they need to adjust. So what should happen is the front end should be told, like, hey, you've got, we just got rid of a card, okay, or that, redraw the whole thing, but the deck is smaller, the list is smaller, okay. And I think that's why we're getting this failure. Although that sounds a little funny to me, but yeah. So, let's see. How? Again, I got to look at this thing and understand what it was doing. Let's try with database view model again. Okay, so it has published fields, and when you say did set, well, nothing seemed to happen. I mean, it said it, but remove all. Let's go to the joint view model. Somewhere it had a remove all. Oh, there's the publishers. Yes, this is the kind of thing we need to do. When somebody changes a published field. Oh, maybe my cards need to be published. That's probably what it is. Okay. My cards need to be published, and then when somebody tries to change it, I need to do this mess. Okay. Publisher is left out publisher. Well, he's a table column view model. I don't know if I'm quite getting down to the bottom of things. All right, but I'm saying this is published. Okay, let's make sure our tests work, and then we'll stop here. Okay. I don't think it should break any tests, but I need to give myself some notes. Okay, we made cards be at published, need to update them when they change. And I'm just going to copy that chunk of code. Something like... So I believe if you're a at published item, you have a publisher field. Okay, so we need to do this thing. And we need to declare some cancellables. This stuff. Okay. And I hope that all comes together faster than last time. But anyway, so I think what will happen is this will take care of notifying anybody who's listening as to the publisher that the object will change. And then this sync stuff is... And the store stuff is kind of like to make sure the messages lives long enough to receive, because if you don't have a sync, it just sort of disappears into the ether and you don't get a chance. But at some point when they said object will change, you're saying I'm about to make a change in this thing, and when you get notified the operation is done, you should redraw and look up stuff as you go. And this keeps it around long enough for it to do that. So we'll pick up there next time, which will be Sunday, 1 to 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. And sorry for the issues at the beginning, and I'll just hope Sunday goes better. All right. Thanks for joining me, and take care. Bye-bye.